And we're rolling, we're live! Yes, that is my trademark now. I'm pecking sticking to it. Hello, everyone! Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the peck time it is. This is another Toonkind FPS! Woohoo! I am Vwild. We have a delighted audience. I'm very happy about that. We got a baby in here. Alright, I'm Vwild. I'm, as I've said, and I'll be playing Little Lin Stagehand as well as a few others, because yes, this is house call, so we have to have the house. Well, maybe. And I'm joined by the amazing, wonderful, spectacular light of my life.
Avi, hi. Wait, I really am all of that?
Yeah, you're delightful and I love you. You're wonderful characters and I hold them all so soft and I wish for them to have a good life.
Haha. Anyway. My name's Avi. That's the baby in the background.
We're getting live reactions, folks. Live reactions.
And I am playing Arata Satomi, who is currently a man on a mission.
Yes. And tell me, why is he a man on a mission, if we may be so bold?
Cause recently Arata's been having a time. What with some stuff going on with a case he's wrapped up in, and also finding out from Hugh that well, several things happened, including Lin getting hurt. So he is trying to get to find Lin again, so he can just do a quick checkup, make sure she's all right, cause he hasn't seen her in a while.
Indeed, indeed. And just for amusement's sake, now, getting back to the Stagehand's Requiem, or at least where it should be, what would you say that is? Like, survival or perception? I will allow you to roll either.
I mean,
We're committing to a minor gag here because it's Toontown.
all right. Well, his perception is higher, so I'll just roll
Go
that.
for it. Go for it.
All right, here we go. Holy shit!
Yeah. What was it? What was it?
It was a 20.
Wow! Nice! We are off to a great start. All right, Arata, you've only been to the Stagehand's Requiem semi-briefly, but you know the path to it, perhaps because it is so well known for where it is in certain circles. But you are just on the ball. None of the Inkwell Toontown shenanigans can phase you. Which is probably why when you get there, you've been so good at getting there. Arata? There's not a house on the corner.
What?
There is the wonderful foundation of you can see where a house should be. It's almost as though in any other circumstances you'd be able to see the blinking outline. If you weren't a real kind, you'd be seeing the blinking outline of, oh hey, a building was here. It's not.
See, the whole thing is that Arata had made curry. He has like a takeout box of curry in a bag, and he was going to bring it to Lin, and he's just like standing here, looking at the lot of land where the stagehand Requiem once was, and he's just, well, something happened here, I guess.
From your, I'm gonna give you, because you got a friggin' nat 20 on perception. Just, damn, boy. But you're looking around, and you do see, like, slap bang in the center of this lot where the house used to be, or house agency, the Stagehand's Requiem used to be. There is a bright blue mailbox with a golden star on it.
Arata's gonna walk over to that and check out what's going on there.
It's got the name Stagehand written on it. It does look nice. It looks very well made. Whoever made it clearly put a lot of effort into it. Doesn't seem to be any other details on it that you can see. It is just very much as it is. There doesn't seem to be any signs of a struggle? Question mark? And there are people like this is lower mid Toontown, but there are people milling about. They do just kind of keep glancing over and just oh right, building's not there anymore. Okay, and they just walk on.
Alright, so this is just like par for the course, he guesses. But like at this point, he did say to Hugh he was going to check in on Lin. He can't do that, so he's just like out of a lead, I guess.
Which does make things great. Because there is someone. Because there is that you can see that there are a few letters in this post box, and I'm gonna roll for someone who's a semi-newish character. Let's just get him. Let's just.
Ooh.
Hey, we love to see it. All right.
Eyes.
Arata, as all of this is going on, are you looking around or are you just staring intently at this post box? Just what are you doing? What are you doing as you're having your little internal crisis?
Well, he has been looking at the lot mostly, but he is like looking around trying to see if like there is anybody who can help him.
Which makes it great because unseen to you because this guy rolled a goddamn 24.
Jesus, cheese and Christ.
Yeah, it's just there is someone who's clocked that you're there, and he just assesses for a moment, and then he has clocked that you're real, and then he just goes in his own head the essence of the most British equivalent of well, screw it, we're doing this. There is just all of a sudden this very soft noise of almost metal being tapped right behind you.
Ah. Oh, sorry, am I in your way? And he kind of like just steps to the side.
And behind you is this terrier Toon. Is UPA-ing, you think, or Frankenelli? You can't entirely tell. He is one or the other. But he is dressed to the nines in the most fancy butler suit ever. One gloved hand poised over a metal tray, which he has used to get your attention. And he does just kind of look up at you as though he's assessing you now.
He looks back at this, like, terrier too, and he, looks over to the land where the house once stood, and he's just like, he's just kind of like, there's like this moment of silence before he goes, do you know what happened to Detective Stagehand's, house? If he was a Toon, there would be question marks all over his head.
This terrier's expression doesn't change. It is very much, you know, that stereotypical butler whose face is just always in that very professional look. But he does nod, and then he puts the tray under one arm, and then he starts signing.
Oh boy.
And perhaps I think we should probably roll intelligence, seeing as you've said that Arata is trying to pick up Toonsign.
Yeah, he's not fluent yet. He's just like he does have a brother who knows sign, and so like I think on like his off time he's been trying to pick it up because hey, that stuff's helpful.
Indeed.
All right.
So, intelligence, perhaps?
Yes, I just rolled for that. That's a 15, modified 15.
I think 15 gets it. You get as this butler is looking at you, he almost seems to slow his signs. You get the feeling that this guy can do signs at an incredible speed just by how well practiced it is. But he does seem to be slowing it so it's well enunciated as he goes. You are aware of Detective Stagehand? From previous experience or a recent case?
Uh, actually, we were I helped out on the Sinclair case, and we were working together on that. That was a while ago, and honestly, I'm not surprised that he looks over to the missing house again. Stuff like this can happen in Toontown in just a few months.
And this Toon, who has still not quite introduced themselves yet, but he does nod. And he goes, the arrangement was a recent endeavor. Detective Stagehand has moved premises with her son to a new location.
Well, first he's going to blink because Arata didn't even know that Lin has a son. uh, uh,
Yeah, in the Sinclair case, Lynn very much kept it as these people are strangers. I am not giving any picking information away to any of them.
which is absolutely valid. And Arata again looks over at the plot of land, looks back to Jeeves, and he just goes, "Well, I guess that might as well happen." Look, do you happen to know where she moved to? I told you that I would check in on her because apparently some stuff happens, but things always happen in Toontown.
Roll me insight real quick.
Oh, fuck. 18 plus 5, 23.
Okay. You're looking at this butler as he is just he's kept a very calm look on his face as you've been talking. You get the kind of idea that people have come asking or demanding where's the Stagehand's Requiem? We have a case that needs solving immediately. Why isn't there someone here? But the moment you mention Hugh, that actually gets a full-on blink. And you do see just you get the feeling that this guy does know Hugh to a vague level and is just like, oh, okay, if you know that person, then alright. And so you get a more relaxed nod at that.
Alright, that he can work with that. Um,
And Jeeves does just, or the person before you does just go, I am very aware of the new residence of Detective Stagehand and her son, young Master Rai. If you are aware of young Hugh, then that means you are a trusted person. However, we do ask that you do not go. And he does actually seem to, or not quite falter in his words, but he does tense his hands as though he's choosing them carefully. And he finishes of, we do ask that you do not inform others. We are trying to keep the new premises on a slightly more need to know basis.
Arata nods very seriously at that, and he goes, yeah, I guess that checks out. I can keep a secret. And he pantomime zipping his lips.
There is, with your 23, you do see a twitch of a smile on this terrier's face as he gives another nod. Just like, yes, okay, okay, he might not know you, but he does like you now. And he does go to the letterbox, and he opens it himself, and he just takes out all the letters that are in there, gives them a quick leaf through himself, not as though he's actually looking at anything on them, just making sure that none of them are, he who toon prank type.
Alright, yeah, no, that checks out.
And then he puts them on the tray, and then immediately puts the tray up his sleeve.
Hammer space, I guess.
Yeah. It looks it looks somehow both dignified and ridiculous at once, yet somehow he pulls it off pretty damn well. And then he turns back to you and just goes, "We shall be taking the scenic route, and I do apologize, I did not get your name."
Oh, I'm, Arata Satomi, and, this, and he gives a gentle shake of, not the bag he's holding in one hand, but the bag over his shoulder. He gives it a little shake, and a cat's head, pops out and looks over his shoulder. This is Jeannie.
Let me roll something real quick. Okay. Nope, that tracks! The second there is a cat, you see the full-on moment of just this guy before you was about to sign something, and then he just stops and he's just staring at the cat. Not in a dog's about to chase this cat up the tree way, but in a that is adorable. You will note that Jeeves has not made a single noise while you've met him, besides the tapping of his tapping of his tray. And he does. It looks as though he's making an "aww," even though he doesn't actually say anything. Like, you can even see that his mouth moves in the old way, but there is no noise whatsoever.
I think Arata smiles at that.
And then he does just shake himself off and do the full-on butler's hand in front of their chest, and then he signs again. "My name is Jeeves. Jeeves Roughbridge Airedale, and I am a member of the Stagehand's Informants."
Alright, nice to meet you.
"And it is nice to meet you as well, Mr. Arata. Now, I believe we shall take the scenic route. How familiar are you with the roofs of Toontown?"
Runes? Runes? Did you say runes?
Roofs.
Oh,
And
roofs.
yeah, and I've read this. The toon signs might be pretty similar, but he is just smiling as he's just started to walk away from this foundation towards the nearest building.
There's a moment where, Arata blinks, and then he just has the biggest grin on his face. And he goes, you could say I'm pretty familiar.
There is no change in smile or anything, but you do see he looks back at you, and you can definitely tell that Detective Stagehand brings in the chaotic folks to her network. As he just looks at you, and there is that spark in his eye, as he signs, "The nearest teleportation circle. Do you know it?"
Yeah, actually.
"Good. Race you there."
Oh,
and
boy.
he is off like a shot.
Hey! And just running after him, trying to get up to the roofs. I'm gonna roll acrobatics.
I'm also going to roll acrobatics. Ha! Okay. There is definitely a reason that Jeeves likes roofs. That is a 17, and he has expertise in this, so that's a 17 plus 10.
Oh my god.
That's a friggin' 27. He is off.
Arata also has expertise in this, but he got a 15 plus
Woo!
9. So, here we go.
It's just, you see this terrier. He is not a Warn, you know that much, but he climbs up this building with an extreme amount of agility and grace, and he is just dashing. And you are very familiar with rooftops as well, so if you want to add any flares with a friggin' 24.
Oh, absolutely. There is a lot of, what do you call it? Free running? I think that's the
Mhm.
professional term, where he'll, like, take some more creative routes over the rooftops and in between alleys, where he'll just, like, jump, leap, roll. At some point, he does a wall run that's, like, pretty impressive, I guess.
Then Jeeves is keeping an eye on him, and you do see respect in that as Jeeves then proceeds to whatever you do, he does copy certain moves and also add his own flares. There is one bit where he does just you don't think he should be able to make that jump, but he just vaults over one part and swings over another. It's where there's one of those flags that juts out of a building. He full on uses that as a vault point.
I think Arata just mumbles like kind of amused with amusement tunes, and he tries to find his own like path uh in the same direction, but in probably a safer way for a real guy.
Indeed.
And
It's the one of tunes, you do have that slight safety of an Acme effect.
yeah, and the whole time coming from the bag, there's just a as,
Bless,
as Genie is rustled to hell and back.
just bless. I feel so sorry for this cat. I do. I really do. But you do eventually get to where the teleportation circles are, and Jeeves does slow down, and then when you're right next to the place where this teleportation circle is, where that center business, whatever you call a station,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah, the
word,
station.
you do see him slow down and then duck into an alley. He just like full on just hops off the building. Just he does turn around and he does like an idle position. He does the butler pose of one hand in front of his chest, one hand tucked behind, and just plummets.
Oh my god. I think he like I think Arata watches this and instead of like just plummeting, again, he's a real kind.
Yeah.
He jumps down into the alleyway, and I think he might actually do a wall kick downward just to like slow his momentum as he comes down.
There is a fire escape, and because Jeeves got like a few points ahead of you, I will say that you do hear noises of the clang of metal as though he has grappled down stuff. It was him just showing off.
Ah,
He is not a suicidal toon.
oh, thank goodness.
He's one of the people who has at least a few more brain cells within the network. But as you get down to the bottom, would you roll me another perception or arcana?
Perception or arcana? Well, perception is again higher. Shakes this boy.
Yes. No, don't shake the boy. He's got a cat in his bag.
Well, that's not his greatest roll yet, but he did get a 12.
I'm just gonna roll something. You're in this alleyway, and there is almost this poof noise. You know, like when a magician throws down a smoke bomb, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you don't see it. There's only you in this alleyway. You and you're not quite sure who that Toon is. 'Cause they are a Toon, but they're not Jeeves. There is another being standing where you presume Jeeves should have been. Because with a 12, you don't quite beat the DC of Disguise Self.
Oh my god.
There is a Toon that looks semi-like you if you were an actual Toon, but also shorter.
And I think he, like, there's, like, another pause where he just looks at this, and he, like, after a moment, he just puts his hands on his hips. And he looks Jeeves up and down, and he goes, you know what? Not bad.
Because Disguise Self doesn't ultra person, you do hear the slight noise that might be a tail wagging. And there is a very soft huff of air. He doesn't laugh, but you can tell that's probably his equivalent. As he just goes, and he does pull his hands up to sign and go, "We prefer to take the casual route when approaching this building nowadays. Stealth and disguise are key."
I can do stealth.
And Jeeves does nod, and then this Jeeves that looks like you then tilts his head to one side and goes, "You are not very well affiliated with Detective Stagehand, our detective, yet. For a single visit, it might be safe for you to be as you are. In future, use a little caution, perhaps, if you frequent often."
Sorry,
It
the
appears
baby started, like, yelling.
it's okay. We fully understand. It's a teleportation central nearby. There are many babies. There is a
Yeah.
baby arm.
Yeah. Can you repeat the, like, last bit again?
Okay. In essence, Jeeves went. Well, Jeeves stated that Arata isn't very well affiliated with the Stagehand's Requiem or Detective Stagehand yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so it should be safe for him to just go as he is for now, but if he wishes to come again frequently in the future, to exercise care.
Alright, in that case, he does nod in understanding, like, okay, this is probably a lot more serious than he realized. But
Yeah, all these guys are paranoid picnics, but
yeah.
ever. But oh, sorry, you go.
He does understand the precaution. So he does, like, nod and alright.
And you are then there is another nod, and then you are being led by this smaller version of you. It's you get the feeling that he's probably going for this is just a casual day out of brothers or something. And you do go through certain areas, certain different places, until you do get to a teleportation circle. Or the main teleportation circle. He does scribble something down to the person who's running everything. Would you like to, if he would like to know where we are going before we get there, roll me history or arcana? Or he can just go, alright, we're just going somewhere.
I think I'll just... Okay, history and arcana are the same modifiers, so I'll just roll, I guess. That's exactly what I thought, baby! 5!
Yeah. There is a lot of hustle and bustle. Your cat is probably complaining a lot in your bag because of what you did.
Oh, absolutely.
But there is just Jeeves just escorts you to one of the teleportation circles, There is a very bright flash, and then you're in a place that looks a bit like a train station and new location. You can roll perception now if you'd like.
Hell yeah. Alright, that's a 17.
Yep. This place is both toon and real kinds are scattered around it as people are just making their way around. And there is a very distinctive vibe to these people. This place seems old. It does seem like a train station. There probably are trains nearby. And with a 17, I'd say, tell me, how much would Arata even know about Halloween Town?
He probably has heard of it. He's never been there himself.
He would be able to clock then that because he's heard from it, that this does very much ring because of the people who are scattered around. It's just like, all right, the different types of people here. Okay, this is Halloween Town. It has the vibe.
Oh, it has the vibe.
I do not speak for RJ, but I kind of want like the organ music that comes with every spooky place to be just distantly heard.
I love that. Okay, that's amazing.
But you do get to this place here, and Jeeves immediately ditches the disguised self, and he's just leading you onwards. Just he is far more casual and relaxed now. It's just yes, we've made it out of we've made it out of the danger zone. We're safe now. Let's go.
Alright, Arata, looking around, follows after Jeeves.
And I'm gonna roll survival for Jeeves just because he is a wonderful toon, but this is very much above his pay grade. No, no, he makes it pretty dang decently with a 15. Of he does just it is very much a fast clip. It is Butler showing someone to a different wing, if that wing is an entire town. But you are led through this wonderful town, and he does. There is definitely every now and then this vibe as though the town is trying to mess with you, but Jeeves just does not give a darn. He's just walking. And you see a very familiar building in front of you.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, there it is. If you were a toon, the blinking outline from earlier is now that radiating outwards of here it is. You
There
found.
it is. Objective complete. Find the Stagehand Requiem.
Yes. Next one. Talk to the monkey.
Yep.
But as you're about to go, like, I presume you're gonna pretty quickly go indoors.
I think, he does stop to, like, thank Jeeves for leading him here.
And you do get a slight bow from Jeeves as he's pulling out his tray with the letters on it, which he is now putting through the proper letterbox that is here, through the actual letter opener. Or not letter opener, the letter shutter thing.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yes, he did this exactly for that gag. But would you roll me an insight, please?
Yes. Don't mind if I do. Alright, that's a 16.
You do see, as Jeeves just gives this very gentle tap tap to the side of the building, he is very much intentionally staying away from the full door. You get the feeling that that might be something to do with the house, just he isn't going to come inside today. He wants to, but he's going to leave it another day. But as he bows to you as though he's going to part ways, he does stop. And there is a slight pinching of his expression as he turns to you, a little more serious than before.
Arata turns back around to face him.
And he does pause and almost seem to stop for a moment, and then he goes, I do not know your business with Detective Stagehand. However, might I offer a small piece of advice?
He nods. He does look a little bit more serious now.
And Jeeves is looking at you, and you do see that there is a respect there. Of you've kept up with him, and you do seem a decent bloke. You're a decent chap. But he
Aw.
does just go, if you are here to talk to the detective, I can bypass certain new incidents due to my signing. If you are to address her, please do address her with her full title of Detective Stagehand as quickly as possible, seamless. She is not overly fond of detective spoken alone anymore.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, he looks a little bit more worried about Lin now?
And Jeeves does nod, and then he goes, I don't fully know what caused the change, but I have seen her flinch during certain briefings. If you could omit using detective on its own, that would be greatly appreciated on multiple people's parts.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I can do that.
and you get another nod, and then he just goes, very well. I shall enjoy to see you again another day, Mr. Satomi. And you just get you get a light pat on the arm. It is very much, you know, that very gentle pat of someone who doesn't really do physical contact, but it's just, this is meant to be reassuring.
Oh boy.
And then there is a click of his heels, and he's just making his way back out. Just, he seemed pretty relaxed, but it was very much a yes. The detective's been through enough. We're not giving her any more shit.
Oh, absolutely not.
And and I will just say, congratulations, you did very well, and you avoided the Jeeves shovel talk.
Oh my god!
His silver tray is a great club. He would have used it if you'd said anything that made him go, no, no, I don't like this one. You would have been receiving a shovel talk, but no, you won him over. You have a cat, and you're good at acrobatics, and you seem nice.
I think with that, at the very least, Arata does give him a wave, goodbye before he turns to the front doors and gives it a little knock.
And there's something that happens at the stage. You've been here before. You have a business card. Did I specify what type of business card it was? Whether it was like Gills or whether it was a normal one?
I don't remember. I don't think it was ever specified. I just know that we were like talking about it in the group DM, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm. Gonna say is like Gil had a very specific one of Lin was like, no, no, I'm not letting you have free reign of my home. No. But I think Arata did get the normal one. And so Arata, make me a strength save.
Strength? Oh boy! Okay, that's. Wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. He actually got a 2.
Oh god, great! So, Arata, you saw Jeeves actively stay away from the door earlier. You don't quite know why. You definitely know why now. As you go to knock, you get like your knuckles graze it. You feel wherever you keep Lin's business card, it suddenly grows slightly warm, and then the door is fully open, and you are being caught in a tornado.
Whoa! God.
It's just surprise. The network welcome.
Ugh.
I feel sorry for your poor cat. Your cat doesn't deserve. Jeannie doesn't deserve this shit. God, Jeannie, I'm so sorry. But there is just, yeah, you are swept into the house. There is, it's from what you can get alone, very different to how it was before when you came, because you couldn't see certain aspects when you came here in that serious environment. Everything is gold and bright and cheery and warm, and you are being spun as this house is just humming with life.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
And I'm gonna roll for Lynn to see how long it takes her to realize what the heck. All right, Lynn, what's your perception modifier, my wonderful darling? It Her passive is 17, and her roll just then, yeah, no, she gets it. She got a 17, which is also her passive. I probably should have gone with her passive for this, but wherever Lynn is, she's probably in her side office. She just hears you and your cat as she goes, "What the heck?" As she's coming out of her side office. How are you doing?
Does she ask that out loud, or is he just...
I'm asking this as how's Arata doing being stuck in a warm tornado from a house that very much didn't seem as though it could do that last time he was here. It was just a building.
Is this supposed to happen?
Yes, this is. This is the normal. This is what network does to people who are part of the network, and you've probably like been bumped up slightly in Lynn's books from other stuff. Of just like you know people she knows and they like you, and network is very people friendly. It's like having a dog, only the dog and the toddler is also a very giant house.
I think he's just... I think the moment he sees he sees Lynn, he goes, hi, can you help me out here?
And Lynn is just staring like someone who can't quite believe what they are seeing. Because they didn't quite anticipate Arata arriving, and then there is just Arata in her home being spun around by Network's tornado with the wailing of a cat.
Just...
And there is very much that look on her face of, this is my life. As she then does just shake it off and just go, sweetheart, down. This is this is Arata. He is a friend, acquaintance, business associate. Yes, put him down. He's real. He's fragile. No, you can't give him another spin. Put him down. And you are reluctantly also just put down. Your bag on your back is probably given an extra little like poke. Because yes, that's a kibby. That's a kibby. Poke. And Linda's just sigh and just go, I am so sorry for the interesting, well, welcome. Arata, can I call you Arata? Hi.
Yeah, sure, call me whatever you want. Hey, I brought you something, and he looks down at the bag he's been, like, holding in his hand this entire time, and he's just like, well, that probably got messed up.
Whatever it is, it'll probably be okay. It's sweetheart's eccentric.
And, he opens the bag and takes out, like, this takeout box, and he said, well, you liked the curry the last time we were all together, so I thought you might want some more.
Oh. And you see Lynn beam, and she does come closer. She has just been she was just staying, like, just slightly outside her side office door when all of this went down. You were in the foyer, so she does come closer, and would you like to roll perception, perhaps?
Yes, don't mind if I do. Alright, yeah, that's 11 plus 5, that's a 16.
I'll say with 16, because are you actively, because you do know Lin's been through the wars. So would you be looking to, like, check over, see how she is as she comes closer, or is it just
Yeah,
a cursory glance?
yeah, it's a quick glance over because like again, this boy is a person who cares a lot, um, and he may have only met Lin like once, but he still wants to make sure that she's all right because she's connected to quite a few of his friends.
Yeah. And as Lin gets closer, you do see she's for once not wearing any dark blue coat or anything. You've seen her in the news and such before. She's always wearing a waistcoat or a dark blue coat or something. But she's wearing this very nice, it looks like a Halloween sweater. And she's standing there, and with a 16, I will say that her outline does look slightly blurry, slightly frayed. It isn't solid. It has got those edges to it, as though someone has sketched it out multiple times. And she is wearing these dark black gloves over her hands. You can also see a few, like, light blue bandages wrapped around her legs. But she does seem okay-ish. I mean, actually, no, she has got a mark on, like, one of her cheeks and around her neck. With a 16, I'll give you that. It's just very vaguely. You can't tell what they are, but this monkey's been through a lot. But she does seem okay.
If she does seem like okay now, at the very least, he is going to relax a little, but he has noticed it and he is taking it into consideration. So there's that. And if Lin takes the takeout box, he'll take his hand and kind of just like rub at the back of his neck, and he goes, I heard from Q that like some stuff, happened, and well, I told him I would come check in, and I mean, it's been a while, either way.
Ah, yes. And I'm just gonna roll a quick deception thing on Lynn's part. Just don't mind me.
Oh boy.
Okay. What's your passive?
His passive insight is a 15. It's decent, but
Yeah.
like,
You see. You do see. As Lynn does take the box from you, it is very much her left hand first. She takes it with left hand, supports it with the right, and then brings her tail around to just like fully support it as she takes it from you. And the moment you mention Hugh, there is, with her deception being lower than your passive, you do see her just this look pass over her face very quickly. She goes, yes, how is he? I've checked up on him recently, but he doing all right at the moment?
As far as I know, yeah. I mean, last I checked, he was still in bed rest, but you know.
Good, good. And he's throwing you at me, eh? Couldn't have been a case, could it? Then again, actually, I'm kind of grateful it's not a case. I quite like it when people of mine are safe. But yeah, I'm fine.
He raises a brow at that and he goes, as fine as you can be, or just fine?
This and that. It's things have been a little bit hectic recently, but well, you know, Toontown. You know, Inkwell's a lot. Toontown is a lot, and well, if you've seen Hugh, you know some shit went down.
And oh jeez. And he kind of just nods, like, knowingly, like, yeah, stuff keeps happening, bro. And he's just kind of like, how do I put this in words? He like takes a moment to like shift and a bit, and he goes, I mean, I won't like pretend to know what happened, but you got people who care about you, and that's a good thing. So, you know, I don't mind coming to check on you for them.
Indeed. And Hugh is a incredibly kind young boy.
Mm.
He's my nephew.
Oh, really?
Well, semi-adopted. It's not officially, but yeah, he's my network nephew. It's you can't deny it. He's mine. He's mine. I will fight people who say otherwise, and I will steal their pick and kneecaps as trophies.
I think the moment you say adopted, Arata's face just like brightens up and like, oh, that is so sweet. Um uh uh um but there is a slight pause, and he goes, do you mind if we sit down? I mean, like, there's, you know, a
Of course.
lot to catch up on.
Yeah, peck and hick. Alright, just let me put this down somewhere that Sweetheart's not gonna abscond with it. And then I'll make us some tea. Do you like tea?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Alright. And you do just kind of see Lin look at this curry, and then she goes, would you mind if I eat it while we're talking?
Go for
It
it.
was really it was picking good curry. I'm sorry, I can't deny it. I will feed you chili after this. I have massive stores of chili. You're leaving with a bunch of chili. But I can't. I'm sorry, I can't help it. And she is just like she goes over to like the sofa. There is like a little coffee table next to it. And she does just stick this down right next to it because it's just like, yes, she is eating this curry. It was too good. She can't resist.
I think Arata is like grinning at seeing that, and he is going to come over and take a seat by this table with Lin.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It is a very nice table on that front of not table, sofa. It can fit multiple people.
yes. He does set his like actual like bag down so that Genie can stand up and stretch if he needs to, because oh boy.
Yes. I think you do kind of get that, like, if Genie makes any noise, Lynn is just gonna go, oh, pick, there's a cat, and oh god, the cat! just, because bless Genie, how does Genie look after everything that they've just been through in the past hour or so?
You know how some cats look when like stuff happens and they're spooked and like their fur is like puffed up.
Yeah. Oh god. Just Genie. I am so sorry, Genie.
He does stand up and he does like shake off his fur so it does like smooth down a bit, but he doesn't like wander off anywhere. In fact, he does like sit down at Arata's feet. And sorry, I just read the nuts and bolts gallery. Yeah, Genie is definitely going to have words with Arata later. He does say, he does go, so, you've been keeping up with the news at all?
Yes, I'll admit, moving kinda took a lot out of us of our time. Jeeves and I and a couple of others, people in the sketches and the network, we all made sure everything was going smoothly, so I haven't been able to see as much, but I've seen that you were in a recent case, well, How you doing after everything with that?
Is this the case? Is she referring to?
Yeah, I think so. If I've got things butchered, if he's not actually a major person in this, do feel free to say.
No,
Because Lynn can keep up with names that she knows. If should I roll history actually retroactively?
Well, I don't know if the whole thing with Virtuoso's flourish, um, would have made news, but he definitely was the at Sinclair's trial.
Mhm.
So
Would you like me to roll history to see how well Lynn knows information about this stuff?
yes, go ahead.
Lynn, I have been busy all this time. Lynn gets a friggin' nat 20 on
No
history.
way.
It appears that Lynn in her downtime just goes, okay, how do I relax? Read every newspaper article and report I can find in the general vicinity.
Yeah, nat 20. So.
So I don't even have to retroact anything, because literally Lynn would just be going, oh, news, Arata case. Oh, the Sinclair case, right, okay, how do I bring this up without scaring the kid?
Arata's like, Arata does look a little, like, yeesh, um, because of the Sinclair case, but, basically, to sum up what happened for the recording, um, Sinclair went to trial. That definitely happened. The reason why it took so long was because gathering evidence for the prosecution was, if I remember right, it was incredibly difficult because Sinclair's defense was just so good.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the trial was proceeding as normal, and Sinclair, up until a certain point, had been um, denying, like, he was going for the not guilty charge. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then, all of a sudden, on, like, one of the days of the trials, in fact, it was, if I remember right, it was during a witness's testimony. Sinclair just confesses to everything. Um, Seemingly out of nowhere.
Well, it'd certainly make the headlines.
Yeah, it definitely what makes the headlines. And there was a whole ruckus. His attorney, his lawyer demanded that they go into recess to like check and make sure that Sinclair's not charmed. They found no charms at all. Um, so it wasn't any like form of enchantment or anything. It was just straight up Sinclair just decided to confess to everything. And when the case when the trial went back into motion, um, they tried to proceed as normal, but then there was an assassination attempt on Sinclair's life. He survived. Good old cleric Sammy managed to keep him alive because he just confessed to everything, man. But
You're not allowed to die with a without guilt-free conscience after everything you've done. You're going to jail.
and like what they end up finding out while Sinclair has been in recovery is that Sinclair might have been able to survive, but he is not able to speak. Not anymore. Um,
I think the reason why Lynn hasn't been involved, she probably had like in fact, the reason why she got a nat 20 is probably she had one of her informants go, okay, I want someone at this trial who's not going to get involved but can give me information because I know I cannot handle being there with my design.
yeah, no.
And so she has just got this information and she's just, you can tell by the way she's looking at you, Arata, that yeah, monkey detective knows.
Yeah, Arata takes a deep breath in and he goes, I mean, I also, I'll be honest, after what happened, it wasn't just because you asked me to come here. I wanted to come in to make sure that you were alright and you were safe. Because, well, they weren't able to find the shooter. So we really don't know anything about them or why they wanted Sinclair dead.
Well, I mean, a lot of people probably want Sinclair dead.
I mean,
But
true, but he had already confessed by then, so that means... God, I don't know what that's gonna mean.
indeed. If an old detective might offer 2 cents?
He nods.
I have actually just realized something. As you're doing that, roll me insight.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. 16 plus 5. It's 21.
There is... Well, I said it just completely normally because I forgot for a second, but as Lin's saying the word detective, there is a falter to it, and she soldiers through, but you do get the realization that she probably said it as a unconscious word, and it caught in her throat for a second.
Oh. Oh.
She has not been using that word for a very long time now, or for a decent period now. And there is just this very almost flicker of movement to her eyes and spasm to her hand before she entirely brushes and tucks it away. And she continues as she's making the tea. She just goes, if I were looking at such a case, it's... Don't just look at the victims. If someone confesses to something, anyone that they've traded with, anyone that they've worked with in the past, well, if you suddenly say, I am guilty, you're suddenly very willing to drag other people down with you.
Right.
So it might not be someone who he hurt, but someone he helped. But I don't know. I'm not part of this case anymore.
Could be one of his customers, I guess.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And he had quite an extensive list of those, if I recall. I mean, all of the information we were able to gather.
Oh, yeah. And you see, he's just kind of like... He's frowning to himself at that, and... He does remember all that list of people, and it's just... The amount of them, like, just thinking about it is just... It bothers him so much.
There is very much... You do see the person before you just look at you, and there is understanding in that. And you do see someone who has been through a lot of cases over a long period of time and has seen some of the worst of Einquell in that sense, of she's seen cases like this before. And she just goes, well, we've solved what we can, and we're going to bring as many of them justice as possible.
That's the best we can hope for at this rate.
Indeed. If you or anyone related to the trial needs any further assistance, I'm currently taking a reduced workload, but I could offer my assistance in information gathering.
I appreciate that. Do you want to roll insight real quick?
Mm-hmm. Insight. That is a 12 on the dice, so just gonna check. Yep, I'm not on Jeeves' sheet, that's good. Insight, 17.
Oof. fun. Arata, okay, you can tell that Arata is very glad that you managed to be, relatively alright in regards to the Sinclair case. But judging by the look on his face, you get the impression that there was something else he wanted to talk about. But you can tell that he's not sure if he should bring it up.
There is a look on Lin's face as she finishes making the tea. She does bring it over. In fact, you do actually see she goes to take it with both hands, looks at her right hand, and then just does this little grimace, and then instead just does this gesture with both of her hands. And then the teacups are being lifted by something unseen as she comes back over, and you are handed one.
He takes it.
And she does just go, as someone who is quite blunt quite a lot of the time, I advise ripping off the bandage of whatever the pick you want to say, you little mother picker. Out with it. Out with it.
I think he does, actually, laugh at that. That laugh was in character. And he does relax a bit, and he goes, well, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to, he grimaces, I don't want to get you directly involved with this, because you seem to have already been through a lot.
I'm going through a lot all of the time. Honestly, at this point in my life, I have figured that things happen all of the time. So I just gotta process it as it is. So just hit me with this thing. Come on.
Okay, I told Hugh about this already, and he was like, okay, you should probably go to Lin. So that's another reason why I, came here. Again, I'm not asking you to be directly involved in this, but you do have a pretty impressive network, so if at the very least you can, send word about this, I would appreciate it, and I think Sammy would too.
I have people all over Anquil. I've got designated groups, I've got different people who can help with the different needs. I might even have some help, well, as she does just make this offhand gesture of, you can kind of see she's trying to encompass where they are, of just yes, she is now in this very nice town, and she's like, I could probably ask some people for help if that's needed, but... Okay, spit it out. What kind of deal are we messing with now, eh? Come on, what shit's hitting the fan?
Okay, I am going to do my best to say this as quick as possible, or keep the long story short, but, Sammy and I, a while back, I guess you could say we got involved with a case where, that involved a very close friend of ours named, Bevan. They're fine now, but even though all that happened, we think there is somebody very, very dangerous on the loose, and Bevan doesn't exactly have direct contact to any of their blood-related family, but we have reason to believe that there is a person who... This person who is a bounty hunter is trying to hunt down and, we think, kill Bevan's family, and we're worried that they might go to Bevan directly. And we know that this person is nobody to be trusted. Um, he pauses like he's trying to figure out what he should say next. Like, if he should give you the details of this guy, like what he looks like, or if he should uh, give you what he's done and what he already knows.
Lin looks the height of professionalism. You see this calm professional just looking at you, nodding. She has, as you've been talking, she does take out a notebook from her ham space, and she has been writing in it with her left hand. Just she's been writing in it fast paced, keeping looking at you, but in shorthand or some language, maybe giant, just writing down notes incredibly quickly as you've been saying everything. And she is just nodding as she goes, "Right, I'll be keeping an eye at Bevan, you said, Bevan. Okay, if I could get a description of the person that is hunting his family, and also him, it might be advisable. I have no recollection of such names, but I'll do my best to provide outside assistance. Just muddy a few trails if you need it."
Alright, well, Bevan's 6, I think. They're a child, Lynn. They're a
I'm
kid.
sorry, how old did you... Okay, we got a child in danger from a bounty... Peckin' fantastic! Mother peckin'!
Uh,
Hey, she does say this in character. She goes, "Arata, do you know Giant?"
uh, he does not. So if she's saying anything in giant, he does not understand.
And she does just take your look of no, and she goes, "Great." And she just starts speaking very fast and very... You can tell it's probably swearing. She just full on just goes into a nice little swear storm. There is Grawlix popping off of her. She takes another deep breath. The giant trails away, and she goes, "Mother picking shit. Okay, here we go. Alright, so a 6-year-old. Toon or real?"
Well, I'm going to be honest, Lynn. Can I call you Lynn? Is that alright?
Might as well.
Um, I, oh, this is going to sound stupid, but, I made a promise that I wouldn't tell people what Bevan is, but I can tell you that they look Toon.
That gets a slightly furrowed brow, but she does nod. And she does make a note of that in her notebook, and she goes, "Alright. Do you think whatever secret is therein would be something that the bounty hunter is directly targeting?"
He nods.
Right, okay, so this has changed classification. I'll put certain people I trust on this. I might call out the sketches on this one. Yeah, they know how to be discreet. Sometimes. God, actually, I say that about cops not discreet. I'm gonna give this to Jeeves. Well, I'll give this to Jeeves and his batch. Jeeves has a nice batch of people that he trusts on that front. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we'll look out for this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And the bounty hunter just...
His name is Nakabe Nakai.
Right.
We know he's real kind. We don't know what race specifically. Honestly,
Well,
you cannot miss him. Oh, what were you gonna say?
well, under Lynn's breath, she's going, "If they're real, then they can go down without the Acme effect. We're getting kneecaps, all right." And she does just mutter that under her breath in giant, so it looks as though she's saying whatever she's writing. She is not. She is very much just, she's having her little private comments now.
Oh, I love that. Honestly, Lynn, this person, you cannot miss them. Always wearing sunglasses. Um, he's got pink hair. And the worst fashion sense I have ever seen. Uh, the last time I saw him, he was wearing a bright yellow turtleneck with a purple blazer.
That's freaking hideous, and that's coming from me.
And he does his best to hold back. He does his best to hold.
So you're saying this person has pink hair, a yellow turtleneck of all things, and a purple. Honestly, I mean, a toon could be forgiven for that because of design, but a real just shit.
Okay, he was trying to hold back a laugh, but he's absolutely cackling now.
And she is just, you can kind of tell that she was trying to just like break you of all of this because she knows how detective work can get. She knows how serious it can be. And she does just like start hamming it up in the tune where she just goes, "Next, you'll be telling me they were wearing picking cowboy boots. I mean, did they wear the sunglasses indoors? Oh, please
Oh,
tell
he
me."
absolutely wears the glasses indoors. He came into the inn wearing them.
Oh, I hope those blind him. I hope they blind. You know what? If he ever loses them, just if we ever manage to arrest them, we're just gonna make sure he gets one of you know those neon pink shade glasses that you can't see out of. We'll get him some of them when he's in jail.
Oh, he loves that. He absolutely adores this. And I think he does laugh in character for a bit before
Yes.
he lets himself like wipe at his eyes. You know, the laughing tears. Um, and after a minute, he calms down. All right, all right. Back to business. Um, and he
Oh,
just give like a little snort. Um,
Lynn does smile at that, and she does just lean forward slightly and go, "Always try and find a moment where you can get a little peace or a little humor, eh? It's big cases can drag you down. Just try and find your moment. Dig holes in something. Get your villain, tear him to picking shreds. Something I've found. It's something I've found over time. If you can find the weakness for yourself, you can chip away at them. But anyway, back to business."
I mean, I can never do business anyway, so. um, uh, Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
uh, do you? He hesitates and he shifts. His expression is definitely a lot more serious than it has been this entire conversation, and he straightens up. And I'm not sure if you've seen Genie by now, or if you're looking at him. He also like sits up straight. He had been laying down on the floor, but now he's like sitting, more alert. Um,
The moment that happens, there is a very low, it's almost inaudible hum, and Lynn's smile just kind of turns a little more serious as well, and she's looking at you in that professional, cool concern.
do you know what a quarry is?
I'm gonna roll in history, but I doubt it. Yeah, no. It's you do see her brow furrow, and also that her eyes wander for a moment as though she's trying to recall stuff. But that's a 9. No, she's just like, um, is that a real thing? I'll admit the name doesn't ring a bell.
It's all right. He lets out a sigh, like and he takes a moment to like gather his thoughts, and he goes, "Well, quarry, it's a type of, it's a type of creature that is, that makes their home on the plane of dreams. But here's the thing about them that makes this a lot more serious. We think Nakabe Nakai. Not think, we're certain of it now. He is working with one of these quarry, and the reason why that makes him dangerous is because, well, Lin, quarry are a kind of monster. The majority of them are bad in that they tried to torment people with nightmares and invade the material plane by possessing people.
Hey, Arata, would you like to roll insight?
Yes. Oh shit, that was a nat 20.
Right. You see, Lin is trying to keep that very professional expression on her face. The more you're talking about this, you do see a look of concern fade to dread. And then the moment you say possession, you see her outline visibly fray.
Do you need a moment?
Pick. Hold on a second. And you do actually just see she goes with her right hand, and her right hand spasms. She goes, right, pick. And she then goes with her left hand into her pocket, pulls out a little canister of stuff that say, yeah, you were there during the Sinclair case and stuff. You recognize these are chill pills, especially with nat 20. And she does just crunch on one. And she goes, it's fine. It's a design gimmick of mine. I'm fine. I'm fine. But more possessive mother peckers, great. Okay.
It's okay, cause I can spare some of the details we know, but it's not great either way.
I've learned over time, the more information I have, the better prepared I am. I've tried outsourcing my problems before, and well, the one time I really thought it was gonna progress, the person I outsourced to ended up being entrenched in my problem and very nearly didn't come out of it. Bless Grave Hunter, he didn't deserve that shit. But any information you can spare, I can take it. It's with what happened with Hugh and with an incident of my own. Let's just say possession and nightmares and that sort of shit is something I'm overly fond of.
Well, I'm not either, so I guess we're on the same page on that.
Yeah, just lay it all on me. I'll make the notes. I'll probably put some specialized people if you need to talk to anyone else, and if you need to talk to someone, I do know a good therapist. You've seen some shit, kid.
He kind of smiles at that, but there isn't humor in it. But he nods. How should I say it? He nods sympathetically, and he goes, well, we know for a fact that they are not strangers to targeting or using kids because, God forbid, not Bevan, but still a child that is a friend of ours. They had been possessed by this quarry for a little bit, and God fucking damn. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine now.
Were they aware of everything when it was happening?
Yes, they were aware. They were
Right.
awake. That's how it usually is with quarry possession sometimes, but sometimes people are just asleep.
I'm gonna say with that nat 20 you got earlier, with the nat 20 on insight, you see how Lin was kind of hoping that it was going to be asleep, but the second you said they were aware, there is a deep understanding in that. Of you don't quite understand, you don't know Lin, but there is almost she understands what that's like. There is a sympathy for this child.
And Arata pauses and he looks over Lin before he continues, and he goes, this kid specifically is, they're okay now. The professor's keeping, I guess, an eye on them for now. But the thing is that, well, we don't know for certain, but based from what the professor told me, we think the type of quarry that Nakai is working with is specifically of the type that hunts down and kills a race of people called Kalashtar.
Right. Another real thing, I presume. Well, pick. This is a real smelting pot of different things, isn't it?
God, it sure is. And again, I'm not asking you to get like directly involved.
Of course, but if you ever need someone to go to a shelter, if you need someone to have a safe house, I can offer that sort of thing. If you need someone to gather you information, we can get in contact with my network. I'll admit, possession is a topic that hits close enough to home that I want to help however I can. I might not fully get involved. It's might be detrimental if I run such a case with my newfound condition and such. But if I can offer any assistance, don't hesitate to call.
Yeah, and that's something I appreciate more than I can put into words.
It's good to know that someone's got your back.
Yeah. And can you roll insight? I might argue for advantage if you roll low because.
No, she did not roll low. That is a 24.
Oh hell yeah. Okay. This case. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. This case that Arata's been telling you about. He's told you that he's. They're pretty certain that the quarry is a kind that hunts down Kalashtar, and when you make that offer for shelter, he visibly relaxes. Like, you know how when you're pulling a rubber band
Mm-hmm.
It's just tense and tense and tense, and you're like worried that it might snap. Um, but it's like somebody just like brought their hands closer together, and there is a bit of looseness, and he is, whew, he is relieved more than he can put into words. And with a 19 modified 24, you get the feeling that this idea of Corey hunting Clash Star hits a little close to home for him.
Does Lin know what race of being Arata is?
I don't think she does. He never brought it up during Simon Says.
No. I didn't think so either, but she is just studying him silently at that. As she's trying to make connections. She just goes, alright. I will offer all of my assistance however I can. I do my best to keep my people safe, and Hugh, Sammy, they are my people. They are my nephews, and you know both of them. You care for both of them. That makes you one of mine as well.
I, I really appreciate it.
It's if there's any other information, any something that doesn't seem as though it fits quite right now, I found that all details, even the ones we don't think of straight away, can connect together eventually. It's kind of one of my trademarks as a investigator, that I can see associations very well, that I can find the pattern.
You're pretty good at what you do.
Thank you kindly. I try my best. I don't always see things soon enough, but I've got some plans in place that might alter that in future. We'll see. It's if these theories pay through. Anyway,
Alright, where the last bit of information, and he kind of he kind of brings his hands together, and he's clasping them, but you can see that one thumb is like rubbing at the other hand nervously, and he goes, well, I'll be honest. The whole thing with like Bevan being in danger, we're not entirely certain, but because, well, we don't know for sure if this is a direct connection to Bevan, but we do, things have been lining up, so we think that it's a very good chance. We know at the very least that the three people that Nakai is for certain hunting down are real kind, all of the same family.
mm-hmm.
Their names, their last name is the Brush family. As far as we know that it's a mother and two brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And we know for a fact that one of the brothers is a Kalash star, which implies that the rest of the real family may also be Kalash star.
I'll admit I don't actually know what that means. It's Furbolg, vampire, that sort of thing? Yeah, but Kalashtar is a new phrase to me. Would you mind clarifying?
He kind of winces, and he lets go of his hands and he fidgets with the fringe of his hair. And he takes a moment and he goes, I know I said that a majority of Quarry are bad, and that is true, but that doesn't change the fact that there are good Quarry out there, that there are the kind who rebel against the rest of their people. They try to do good. They try to, well, sabotage any attempts into invading the material plane. Some of those good Quarry, they make a union with folks on the material plane, and, well, a Clash Star refers to someone who is somebody who has made a union with a Quarry, either at birth or whatever have you, but I believe the word translates roughly to common as twin-spirited. It means that essentially there are two people in the same head. And it's not possession. Let me get that out of the way. In fact, most good Quarry abhor possession.
Good. I'll admit, I've heard enough horror stories, experienced enough horror stories on, well, possession, more than one being in your head. And she does just scratch behind one ear for a moment, and she just goes, not a fun experience, I'm not gonna lie. But if it's mutual, consensual, it's what you guys do. Alright?
I think
And
he looks up at that.
Lin looks back. It's just like she is just like you know that look of when you want to fill in space, of just the detective technique of just letting there be silence of I know things. Do you know things? Spill your beans.
I think he just goes. I think he goes. Yeah. Man, you really are a good inspector.
I see connections. I know how things work. It's something that people look out for in me. But you do play it off very well. I'll admit I only had a slight gamble on it, but I'm glad it was proven right.
Yeah.
I can see why this case would mean so much to you, though. Alright. But, as I've said, I'm offering my services, I'm offering as much as I can, and if there's anyone similar to you, I guess... I mean... Wait, if two-spirited, so... There's someone else I need to be introduced to, or...
Well, you see him get, like, a little bit embarrassed, and he kind of just, rubs his hands on his legs, and he goes, well, he can't, like, directly talk, you know, shut up, Lupine, but...
Oh, so their name's Lupine. Hi, Lupine, wonderful to peck and meet ya.
God damn it. There's a moment where he looks... He's not upset at you, but he is definitely annoyed with the voice in his head. And he just goes... He says hi.
And Lynn is full on grinning now. It is very much that detective who's figured out the case, just that grin of, ha, I win.
Um,
But yeah, she is very happy that like her brain hasn't been the best since everything that happened to her, but she is so happy that she's been able to make connections here.
honestly, I think Arata's glad that he can at least offer a little bit of respite in that respect.
Yeah.
And you see him kind of like he lets out a laugh a little, and he goes like, "Yeah, that's I think pretty much the majority of what we know about Nakai. Um, we're we know he's a bounty hunter and he's dangerous, and again, we don't know what he is. Um, we do know he's working with Corey, and he's targeting the Brush family specifically. Likely an old mark that he was hired for, that for some reason he's going back to.
If they are Kalashtar and he's working with a Corey, you said?
Yes,
Maybe that's the link.
it is. I am. Mm, gut feeling.
Because I'm not sure if you. This is going to sound callous, but heck, I'm a blunt person. If you kill a Kalashtar, does it hurt the other spirit?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Then it could potentially be him trying to wipe out a line and weaken the good Corey? I'll admit I haven't got much information on this case, and I'm kind of dealing with a couple of other cases at the moment. Mainly, what the pick is up with the furball. Anyway, but
Um, yeah, and again, if you can just drop a line to whoever just keeping a lookout, making sure that they know this person is dangerous, and God, when Kalashtar are rare enough as it is,
mhm,
I don't I just have really good luck finding other Kalashtar.
mhm. Do be careful with that. If you're good at making those sorts of connections, people might try and target that if they figure it out.
Yeah, that's part of
I
this. Part of this is me worrying that my luck's coming back to bite me in the ass.
right. Well, I'm a toon who's been dancing with fate a lot, and my luck swings like a pendulum, so we'll see if we can twist things in your favor, eh?
I appreciate that.
Besides, what are they gonna pick and do to me? Stab me? Possess me? I've already been both of those, and I've been fine. So,
Lynn. He does let out a laugh, but inwardly he's like, "Oh dear God, Lynn, please, please."
can I just say I love how the chat we had two people at once, both capital letters, Lynn. Just yeah. This monkey has been through so much shit that she stands on a table and goes, "Come at me, mother peckers."
and I think, even though he does laugh and he does appreciate you like doing, helping relieve the tension a bit, he does drink his tea. I think he's finished it by now. And he relaxes again. Uh, I will take that reference to a therapist. You know.
It's my son goes to it, Rai. Uh, He's been through some shit.
Uh,
A lot of us have been through shit.
have you been seeing anybody?
Uh, no, no, not yet. Too busy. I've got some things I want to chase up first, some theories I want to confirm, but don't worry about it. I mean, look at me. I'm picking fine.
Don't don't run yourself into the ground, okay? I I know I probably shouldn't be the person saying that to you, considering that, like, well, we don't know we don't know each other that well. Well, the thing is, I've always had trouble, caring
Mhm.
about people, and the thing is, I care about you too, and if I'm going to make an effort, I will you make an effort to at least try?
And Lin looks at you, and there is a long silence. And it's the look that comes across Lin's face is worn, a little tired. It's you do see a weathered detective, someone who's seen a lot and been through a lot, but you also just see a 21-year-old who has had a lot of play. And she does just go, I am working to take care of myself. I've been through something that I dreaded but hoped would never happen, and I have watched things go wrong over and over and over again. It's I'm taking steps. I am trying. I'm eating food. I'm having lollipops and chill pills, and I'm trying my best to sleep, and I'll admit. And she does look out the window, which you do see isn't frosted glass. It is slightly tinted, but you can actually see outside into the outdoors of Halloween Town, and she just goes, I moved with my son for many reasons, but part of it was to find peace. I'm tired of chaos. I'm tired of people I love getting hurt. I would like rest. I don't think I don't think the plot's quite got that out for me yet, and until I've figured out certain things, therapy isn't quite for me, but I have got self-help books. I have got ways of handling things. And I've got someone I trust who I'm talking to. Maybe not everyone I should, but I'm trying. I promise you that.
And at the end of the day, trying our best is really all we can ask for.
Indeed.
And
We
oh
do our best.
yeah,
But Lynn does just under her breath, just as she's nodding, she does just go, we do our best. Whether it's good enough or not, we do our best.
there's another slight pause as Arata sets the cup down and he relaxes a bit and uh you see him change. Like his demeanor just kind of like shifts visibly, and he goes, "Oh, right. Has Sammy called and told you about the papers yet?"
The papers? Not that I can recall. But oh, I always love hearing about Sammy. So what's your pick and go, eh?
Uh, okay. He straightens up, but this is absolutely like uh not he straightens up out of like excitement to tell you this. he goes, well, okay. Sammy and I, we've been calling each other brothers for a while now.
Uh-huh. Oh, no pecking way. No pecking way.
um,
Did you?
no, Sammy absolutely filled out, found family, adoption forms.
And as you've been talking, Lid has been perking up, and you've seen that worn detective just like blend away, and now you just all of a sudden you see excited auntie. There is a small explosion of rainbow Grawlix from Lid, and she goes, "That's pecking fantastic! Welcome to the network." Oh my god, I've got another nibbling. I mean, do you like nephew nibbling? Whichever one you like. You're a nibbling in law. Oh, pecking heck! Wait, I get two for the price of one. There are two in your head. I also get a cat. Pecking fantastic. All right, you're getting chilly.
And Arata's laughing so hard, and he goes, I haven't even told you the best part yet.
Oh, there's more? Oh, pecking fantastic. And you've actually seen, as you've been talking, Lin's fur, the outline has stitched slightly back together from its frayed state before. And she's now just like, it's a careful gesture, but she does just like leap up to her feet on this sofa. And she's got her left hand on your shoulder, just like, oh, come on. Tell me.
Okay. So, well, it turns out when you fill out these adoption forms, especially through as siblings, you can make a choice about last names, and well, Sammy asked me, and I was surprised that he asked me, really, but he looks up at you, and there is just this bright, big grin on his face, and he goes, Sammy's full name is Sammy Satomi now.
You hear this absolute squeak from Lin. This is like when you get a really nice toy and it makes the pleasant squeak. She is bright gold. She is grinning and she is just like, oh, I'm back! That's my nephew's taking a new name. Holy back, this is fantastic. Right. Okay, right. You know what? No, pick it. You guys are getting chilly. You are getting chilly. Your cat's getting chilly. You're getting pet safe chilly. Because I do have I don't specifically have a cat, but Reckless used to put by a lot. I've got to track that cat down. But yep, you little guy, you're getting chilly. You're getting chilly. Sammy's getting chilly. Everyone's getting pecking chilly.
And he is absolutely delighted. I think the moment you mention chili for Genie, he does perk up, at least happily. Finally, something good for this cat.
She is actually pointing at Genie as she is saying that she's getting in pet safe chili. Like, she actively just brings Genie into this conversation. It's just like, yes.
Oh, you have acknowledged Genie. You just he by now has stood up and is like marching over to you, just going meow meow.
Chili, you're getting chili. Your name's Genie, right? Genie, you're getting the best peckin' chili. I make a really peckin' good chili. My entire family makes peckin' good chili. But you are getting special chili. Because you are a brilliant cat and you deserve it. Yes, you are absolutely fantastic. Lin does not speak cat in any way. Lin, however, is very much on this cat is amazing and adorable and it is going to get praise.
Oh, great, it's gonna get into his head now. And Arata laughs, and reaches over a hand to, like, pet, like, kind of give Genie a gentle, scratch behind the ears. And you see, Genie just kind of,
No. This is the best pecking way to cap all this off.
Absolutely.
You're fine, I'm fine, the cat's fine, chili time! And she's just marching upstairs. You will see that as you've been talking, like, the chili box is empty. You do not recall when Lin was eating. Lin did eat.
Oh my god.
Lin knows how to really stealthily consume things. That bowl is just clean.
Oh my gosh.
and she is just you can hear upstairs this very loud clong of you think whatever bowl she's getting out, whatever saucepan, it is gonna be big.
Oh boy. Oh, Lin, how's he gonna carry that home? He doesn't have
You're
that
right.
space.
He hasn't got to have his space. Don't worry, Lid'll help you break into Sammy's home and give it to him.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Indeed. Everyone's happy. So, thank you, wonderful audience, for listening. This has been great.
Yes, and I'm so sorry it dragged on for so long.
Nonsense. I loved every second of it, my dude. We shall say goodbye to our wonderful audience. Bye-bye.
Bye!